Markie. Well, a key player in the Biden White House, the former White House, will be testifying before the House Oversight Committee today here in Washington. That panel issuing a subpoena to Anthony Bernal, who served as a top aide to the former First Lady, Jill Biden, and was an assistant to President Biden as well. This as lawmakers ramp up their investigation into what many believe was a cover-up of President Biden's mental acuity. Bernal skipped a request to testify last month. We believe there could be some answers potentially starting today. Joining us now, politics reporter for the National Review, Audrey Fahlberg. Audrey, good morning. Thanks for being with us. Do you actually think anything comes out of this? Because we saw Dr. Kevin O'Connor plead the fifth. Neera Tanden's already, she was another top aide, went before the same committee, and now Anthony Bernal goes up there, but I wonder where all this leads.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. That's a great question, whether anything comes out of this. As you mentioned, there are other people that they've brought before the committee, and they're not super eager to divulge a lot of information. As you mentioned, the president's physician, he pleaded the fifth, not super eager to talk about, what he knew about the president's physical condition. Remember, the president was, of course, diagnosed with a tragic prostate cancer diagnosis. But this all comes as the former President Biden is trying to cement his legacy after being forced out of the presidential race, not going super well. Really interesting, him deciding to give an interview to the New York Times about his use of the auto pen.
Yeah, what'd you make of that? Yeah, what'd you make of that timing, Audrey? Because, at some point, Joe Biden was going to be asked that and was going to have to answer the question. But I always wonder why now? Why now? And I wonder why you think he just chose to talk to the New York Times now.
And remember, he did not speak to the New York Times at all during his presidency, during the campaign season. So this is a really big deal that he did this interview, even if it was a quick one. I suppose he and his team made the gamble that he would be able to dismiss concerns about his auto pen use. But if you tucked into that story, they had a lot of great quotes from the president on the record, but tucked into that story, there's some really interesting details from the New York Times about how the president and his aides confirmed that he did not sign off on individual pardons for many of the individuals that he pardoned using the auto pen, but that he signed off on categories for pardons. And this is a key detail for Republicans because that means, according to Republicans, that he wasn't signing off on these individual pardons and knowing the individuals he actually decided to commute sentences for. So expect Republicans to continue really pushing on that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.